Welcome to Good Mythical More. I feel guilty because I expended some effort spinning that wheel.
Yeah,
I'm not happy about that.
There's really no way around that.
We have a phone book from the year we met, but it's not from a place that we've been. Toledo, Ohio. I think they thought this was the most boring thing we could do. With no prep or production from the team. I have been told that Chase did look through it because he has relatives from the Toledo area.
Whoa. You've been sitting on that for a while.
Yeah, I wanted to hold on to something in case you guys were like starting to feel like I was not doing so hot. And like, oh, well, let me pull this out of my back pocket. I got family.
You wait like a decade before you tell us that you got Toledo folk.
That's because he's only been doing hot, man. He's doing so hot.
Yep.
Before we get into that exactly.
Never not doing hot.
Thing.
Chase Hilt right there.
We're going to guess what this word means. Mugwump. Maybe you should just guess.
Who, me?
Them.
Mugwump. Let's see. I mean, it typically put the answer up there, but don't do it. It's just, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Mugwump. Guess we'll never know. I guess no one ever cared. You know, it's kind of like what I said about Ohio. It's like anything goes because no one cares. Ohio. Remember that?
Ouch.
Yeah. You're looking sleepy now.
Yeah.
Are you feigning sleepiness?
No.
Just because the
bored.
lack of effort is just draining from your body?
Right now.
I will say that this is kind of a portent of the future, which is now our present. Every square inch of this phone book is an ad. I mean, even the very top, it's just an ad for a funeral home.
Not only
the
that.
first thing, it doesn't even say phone book. It says funeral home.
The best ad on the whole thing is the printed on the stacked pages. On every side of the stacked pages.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah. Like there's a life insurance company that got a stamp.
Hutton Life.
And the top and the bottom, look.
Oh my goodness. Is this Hutton too? I can't read that.
I wonder if you had to pay more or less for the page ads. I think you had to pay more for it
I think
because it stands out.
And then depending on which way it goes. I mean, they literally sold every square inch
Why
of this
not?
thing. I mean, even look at this. The side is a construction company. I mean, so the only place where you would know what this is.
Y'all complaining about
Toledo's.
mid-rolls.
Right.
This is what we had to put up with.
City Directory, 1980. Like this right here.
You couldn't even look up
This is
grandma's
an actual
number without
title.
running into 15 ads.
Credit Bureau, right there on the spine, is just an ad.
Can I hold it?
Expanding your horizons.
It's hard. I never had a hardback. Never had a hard. Oh, and did you see the different colors? Because you've got the yellow pages, which is
Look,
business.
first page. First page is
Oh, hey,
cemetery ad.
Wow. Urn Garden.
It says 1876 to 1983. So the actual cemetery died a year before this is.
I think it was still going.
Yeah, but why would they put the end date? And it was a year before.
So you think this is the headstone for the cemetery that closed?
Yeah.
Why would they pay for the primo space?
I don't know, some sort of grant.
This is interesting. This Imperial Roofing and Sheet Metal Incorporated, since 1950, it's only 34 years.
Right.
Big whoop.
Big whoop on that. Okay, and here we have a Pontiac, Honda, and Mazda dealership. They're
Good God, that'll make
telling
you
you
want
about
to buy a car.
Trans Am.
Look at that. If you didn't want to buy a car then you ran into this page,
Look at that.
think about what it would do to you.
Trans Am.
Good.
You shopping for a car? Yeah, you're gonna.
We've got 3.
We got 3 sketches of 3 cars.
I mean, just think about the
What'd you
way
buy?
our brains work so differently than a kid's brain works now. Think about if you're trying to sell a car to a kid now. You're trying to, and of course, kids don't buy cars, but you know what I'm saying. Think about the way
YouTubers
our
do.
little brains,
YouTuber children.
when we were 7 years old when this thing came out,
Yeah.
we would have seen this, and
Trans
this is
Am,
all
man.
we needed to want a Trans Am.
And you just call them up. Firebird.
Call up Brown.
Keep going. This is
We got a
low lift.
Oh, now we're getting into the city directory. We got a publisher's note. Could you read that?
This directory contains public information gathered by an actual door-to-door canvas.
2 S's.
With two-
I think it's a canvas.
Canvas.
It's a canvas.
And is compiled in a way to ensure maximum accuracy.
Okay.
So, and it shows a picture of,
Yeah, this.
you want to show them that? It's like-
Yeah. So this
this is an illustration of how this book was made.
So what would happen is
It's 2 women at a door. One lives here, the other one
This woman lives here, right? And then this woman
came to
is
her
making
door,
sure that everything that this woman says is true.
writing it down.
And basically everything that you see in all these pages, there was a process like this that ensured that. And also, what kind of process do we have?
This
going
is a
on down here?
canvas.
What's happening down here? Because it looks like these are 2 men.
Men can canvas.
Well, I don't think these men are canvassing.
Turn it towards me a little bit so I
These
can
men
read
are
it.
inside. They sent the women outside.
Maybe turn it towards me so I can read
And
it.
then the men were inside.
Maybe just turn it towards me so I can read it a little bit.
Okay.
Right, that's good. The publishers cannot and do not guarantee the correctness of all information furnished to them, nor the complete absence of errors or omissions, hence no responsibility for same can be or is assumed.
So they're shirking responsibility.
The publishers earnestly request the bringing to their attention. Oh, this is someone bringing to their attention.
Oh, okay. So what happens? Okay, yeah. So what happens if you go through this phone book and you find something
The
like
publishers
I
earnestly
would do-
request the bringing to their attention of any inaccuracies so that may be corrected in the next edition of the directory. This man
Yeah.
is this. I think this man in the dark suit is telling this,
This
man
man.
who's writing.
And I have an idea what he's saying.
This man. This man.
Yeah.
This man is telling this man who's then writing the.
But you know what he's telling him? He's like, well, yeah, I found an error on the first page. It says that the cemetery died this year. And so then he goes and he says, okay, let me write that down. We need to fix that.
Here, they've literally provided an illustration.
Well, because how would you do it otherwise? How would you know how to do it if you didn't see it done?
Why do I need to visualize the discrepancies being correct?
And just think,
They could have sold 18 ads on
somebody
this page.
came to an artist and said, okay, we need you to draw something for us.
Right.
Okay, what's the scenario? Well, we need you to draw, we got 2 drawings. The first one is, we need you to do something where like it's door-to-door canvassing. And
Is this women?
It's, yeah, both women.
Okay, good.
We send the women out.
Okay. Is the woman wearing some sort of a
Some sort
headdress?
of yeah, something on her head, just to mix it up a little bit. And she's canvassing and making sure. And there's this blonde lady in the door, and she's clarifying something, and she's writing it down.
So the women, they've created misinformation. The women have screwed up, and then the men have to fix it.
No, no, that's not what happened at all.
The men sit back indoors. And they fix the problems created by women.
Well, I mean, if that's what you want to read into it, but I choose to believe.
Now I'm role playing as the illustrator. I'm just trying to tell you. Is this what you want?
Why did he choose 2 women for this? And I would make a note. What I'm going to do next year, I'm going into the city planner. I'm being like, hey, next year on the sketches, can it be a man and a woman in each one?
Right.
So we're not sending a weird message about who's responsible for what. Okay.
And now we're to the general index and introduction.
So R.L. Polk and Company, publishers of more than 1,400 city and suburban directories, presents to subscribers and the general public the latest edition of the Toledo City Directory. Confidence in the continued growth of Toledo's industry, population, and wealth, and in the advancement of its civic and social activities will be maintained as sections of the directory are consulted. For the city directory is a mirror truly reflecting Toledo to the world. This is pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip down a little bit and
A
let
lot
you
of
know about the 4 major departments.
Self-importance happening here. This was like a huge deal for them.
These are the 4 sections corresponding to the colors of the pages. So this
Okay.
is the yellow section, which we call the buyer's guide. That's what we call the
Yellow
yellow
pages.
pages. This is where you figure out, oh, I got a plumber. I need a plumber.
Right.
So you go to P.
Go to P. Then you go to PL.
This is how literally how we did things.
Yep. And then once you get to PL, you go
Yeah,
to PLU.
when I first got married, this is how I would find a plumber. I wasn't using the internet.
Okay.
Welders, creative products. What? I forgot.
Plumber. PLU.
I don't see any,
M.
I don't see any letters.
All I see is letters.
Well, hold on, but what?
You're an A.
No, I'm not. Eddie Lee's restaurant.
Okay. Well, you're in a rentals equipment.
How many Church's Fried Chickens do you think are in Toledo?
4.
6.
Wow.
Might be more now.
You can't even find it. You literally can't find a plumber.
What? Where am I at? I don't know where I'm at. Shoe repair, S. But then P, taverns.
T comes after S. You've gone too far.
But what are all these other things?
I think that
These are subheadings.
Yeah, and then those are alphabetized
Pathology.
after that.
Photographic. See, photographic equipment is before pathology. That doesn't make any sense.
But
Pharmaceuticals.
it's physicians. You're in
Pizza?
physicians.
Printing.
Pizza.
Where the freaking plumber? Okay, here we go. I've hit the plumber jackpot here.
Okay. Yes.
Ringel and Scott Plumbing and Heating.
Okay. What's the number?
Well, I don't know the area code. It's implied.
They don't even tell you the area
You're
code?
supposed to know. Well, I guess it's 419.
419.
And then it would be
Just point to it.
right there. You think Ringel and Scott still around? We've got another option after that.
The number you have reached has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Didn't make it.
That's a shame.
What about Row Plumbing and Heating?
Okay.
Again, 419 and then that.
419.
There's only 2 plumbers in all of Toledo? I refuse to believe that.
That can't be true.
I refuse to believe that. Maybe you pay more to get up in this.
The number you have reached has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
It's
There's
tough
no
to
more
keep-
plumbers.
It's tough to keep a
There's no
plumbing
plumbers
business
in
going
Toledo.
Because the people do it themselves. I think.
The only way for there to be plumbers in Toledo is if the 2 plumbers that were in Toledo are still in Toledo.
Okay, we got to get hold of a plumber.
That was almost too much effort. Junk dealers.
Yeah, let's call a junk dealer. Let's call somebody who paid for a good ad.
Let's call the front. Let's call the first one.
Who paid for the top?
Funeral home.
The funeral home. There you go. Oh, you know they're still open. They never close.
They never close. What's the
We're gonna go with 419.
419?
Let me just make sure.
Beep beep. It might
think
be the 419 is the problem. They might have done away with that.
Oh, 313.
313?
Who's this?
We're sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
But see, area code 419.
Yeah, Toledo.
Okay, so call 41. Did you call that 419?
Yeah.
Did you call Trilby Chapel, the other one?
You want me to call that one?
Call that one. Maybe they kept one chapel open.
473.
47. 13. We got to get hold of somebody. Tell them how we found them.
I'll tell.
We should leave a message. We'll do it together.
Okay. Guess a lot of people are dead.
Well, funeral home is not a prompt business. You know what I mean?
Right. They'll be there when you get to them.
Yeah.
Commissioner Barrows.
Hey. I didn't understand what you said, but I was hoping that you were the.
H.H. Birkenkamp Funeral Home Incorporated, the original.
Is this you? What?
Nope, this is memorials and cremation of barrels.
Oh, okay. So you're still a funeral home.
That is wild.
Well, I'm Link. This is Rhett.
I'm Rhett.
We're talking to you, and what we're saying is we have a
Phone book.
a phone book from
1985.
1984, and it's the
Four.
Toledo area phone book. And
Y'all put an
everything-
ad right at the, well, not y'all, but who y'all used to be, put an ad right at the top.
right at the top.
We were trying to get hold of a plumber first. That didn't work out, so we moved on to funeral homes.
You're still in Toledo?
We're located in Toledo.
Okay.
So interestingly,
Do you still run ads in the phone book? It's an antiquated.
Which I wouldn't be able to say.
Okay, well, it's interesting because when you call the number for H.H. Birkenkamp Funeral Home Incorporated, established in 1858, from 1985, located at Tremansville Road, at Alexis Road, you get y'all.
You get you.
Isn't that something?
We have the same address there, yes.
Okay, there must have been a change of hands.
You are in the same place.
I'm not on site currently. I'm actually just with their answering service.
Okay.
Oh, really? So you don't touch the dead bodies, or?
Well, I mean, that's a
Not personally, no.
Yeah, that's a personal question.
Okay.
We were
And
just-
I didn't mean it in that way.
We were just.
I just meant it in a professional way.
We were just a little fascinated by this.
Just a little bit,
Did you say
yeah.
it was Rhett and Link
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard of him?
from Good Mythical Book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
No way. I'm a huge fan of the show.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, you're on it right now.
Happy Thanksgiving. We are really not working hard today.
Yeah, right. We're literally reading the phone book, and you're the first person we called. So.
Well, you're the fourth person.
Well,
we
yeah, the
called,
first
but you're
person
the
we
first
got in
person who
touch
asked.
with. Yeah.
Can I talk?
Yeah, and Stevie's here. Stevie.
Hey.
What's your first name?
My name is Chris.
You still sound really hesitant.
Hey, Chris. Can I ask you a
I'm a little
question?
starstruck.
Stevie has a question for you, Chris.
Can you hear me, Chris? Chris?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me?
He said yes.
Well, there's a delay. I was just wondering if we had your permission to use this call in an episode of Good Mythical More.
Sure you can.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Trust
much,
me.
Chris.
Thank you.
Look at that.
They're clapping for you.
The crew hasn't been this excited since I got up and left to pee during the main episode.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Thanks for helping us out. What you got? What you got going on the rest of the day?
What's that?
What you got going on the rest of the day?
Oh, just answering for the funeral home.
Yeah.
All right, it's good, noble work.
Sure is.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure. And, all right.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Tuned in for the show.
All right.
All right. Bye.
You know what time it is.
What can you do?
In front of my Spanish teacher, they gave me a suppository.
En español.